Hello students, so today we are going to do the poem Where the Mind is Without Fear by Rabindranath Tagore ji. Before that, let us see your syllables. So overall you have 24 chapters. Each is divided into 4 units and each unit contains 6, 6, 6, 6. तो वैसा divide किया गया है. Now out of these 6, 2 are poems. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8 करके total you have 8 poems to remember throughout this year, throughout your boards, till your boards. ठीक है. So what we will do is whenever we do a poem, we'll make sure that वो poem हमारा वही session में जो हमारा lecture होता है उसी time पे we have understood it very well, like each and every part talking about figures of speech, meaning, activities and everything. So that whenever you do a revision, you don't need to work a lot on it because आपने lecture में आपको पता चल गया था कि वो क्या है. So for 10 marks you have 8 poems. Now these 8 poems are very easy to understand. So every poem are divided into 4 parts. Now first one is appreciation. हर poem में आपको appreciation पूछा जाएगा. Now we'll see what is appreciation. We have already done it before, but we'll also see it once again. Second is activity based questions. Now what are activities based question? आज के poem में ही हम करने वाले हैं. So we'll see it. The third is grammar part, figures of speech होता है, meanings होते हैं, वो सब poem में includes होता है. And fourth one is rhyming scheme. So the poem contains all four of these points और यही 4 points के basis पे you get the 10 marks. So let us see how it works. Now every poem will have its introduction कि हर एक poem का खुद का एक introduction होगा जो compulsory होता है. Whenever you are briefing or whenever you are writing an answer on poem, starting में you have to write an introduction. So that is a compulsory question. Second is about the poet. अभी यहाँ पे कैसे we have poet as Rabindranath Tagore जी, तो उनका work, उनका achievements is something which we have to write. Third is हर poem में you'll get at least 1 figure of speech. तो ग्रामर पार्ट हो गया. फोर्थ इज राइमिंग स्कीम दैट यू शुड नो. 8 ही तो पोएम है, 8 पोएम का राइमिंग स्कीम करना ईजी है. एंड द फिफ्थ इज सेंट्रल आइडिया. दिस इज द मेन पॉइंट. यू शुड नो व्हाट इज द सेंट्रल आइडिया ऑफ द पोएम. इफ़ यू नो व्हाट इज द सेंट्रल आइडिया ऑफ द पोएम, आप आसानी से ईजिली यू कैन राइट द पर्सनल रिस्पॉन्स क्वेश्चन और एनी क्वेश्चन विच इज रिलेटेड टू पोएम. बट फॉर दैट यू नीड टू नो व्हाट इज द सेंट्रल आइडिया ऑफ द पोएम. सिंपल. सो जैसे कि हमने पहले की स्लाइड में देखा दैट वी शुड नो अबाउट द पोएट, हिज वर्क एंड अचीवमेंट्स. सो आई हैव टेकन सम ऑफ द पॉइंट्स ऑफ रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर जी विच यू कैन यूज एज अ points for your answer as well and as an additional information. So the first one is Rabindranath Tagore was a Bengali polymath poet, musician and artist. Now what is polymath? It is a person of a great learning. ठीक है. Second, he reshaped Bengali literature and music. And he reshaped Bengali literature and music. He used to write a lot of literatures and music in Bengali especially. And third is he is sometimes referred as Bard of Bengal. Now what is Bard? Bard is a storyteller, the one who tells story. So he was referred as a Bard of Bengal. Now these are some of my favorite quotes of Rabindranath Tagore ji. You can write your own as well. ये clearly छापना मत. So the first one is everything comes to us that belongs to us if we create the capacity to receive it. What does this means? That things will definitely come to us. If it is destined हमारे लिए तो it will definitely come. Only the thing is you need the capacity to receive it. कि आप में उतनी क्षमता, you should have that capacity to receive it. Not just that it is becoming difficult so you give up and you are like no I can't achieve it. But you should have that capacity that no way, no problem, I will achieve it. वैसा. In this you can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. राइट ना, सिर्फ पानी को देख के आप दरिया क्रॉस नहीं कर सकते हो. सिमिलरली व्हेन यू वांट टू अचीव थिंग्स जस्ट बाय ड्रीमिंग के नो आई विल अचीव दिस, इट वोंट वर्क. यू नीड टू वर्क हार्ड फॉर इट. व्हेन यू वर्क हार्ड फॉर इट देन ओनली यू विल अचीव व्हाट यू वांट. नॉट जस्ट बाय ड्रीमिंग दैट आई वांट टू अचीव, you will gain it. Understood? So this one is the best one for us as a student. And the last one is let us not pray to be sheltered from danger but to fear less when facing them. You can never ask प्रेयर में ऐसा मत बोलो कि यार कभी मेरे पे प्रॉब्लम आई ना, बट रादर आस्क गॉड दैट ओके व्हेन एवर प्रॉब्लम कम्स गिव मी द स्ट्रेंथ टू फेस इट, वैसा सिंपल. Okay, so let us start with the introduction. Rabindranath Tagore, 1861 to 1941. He was the author of Gitanjali and its profoundly sensitive, fresh and beautiful verse. He became the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. ठीक है, तो ये देखो मैंने आपको स्टार्टिंग में ही बोला दैट एवरी पोएम नीड्स एन इंट्रोडक्शन. सो दिस बिकम्स आवर फर्स्ट पॉइंट दैट ही वाज द ऑथर ऑफ गीतांजलि. गीतांजलि करके एक बुक थी, यहाँ पे मैं उसका कवर पेज का फ़ोटो डाल देती हूँ. देखो दिस इज़ गीतांजलि का कवर पेज. इट वाज अ बुक विच वाज रिटन बाय रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर. उसमें उनकी सारी पोएम्स का कंपाइलेशन था. He became the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1913. उस टाइम पे he won the award for Nobel Prize in Literature. So this becomes our second point. This poem is one of his vastly read and discussed poem. It was originally composed in Bengali and later he himself translated into English. ठीक है, कि ये जो पोएम थी वो पहले बंगाली में कन्वर्टेड थी, बंगाली में लिखी गई थी and then he converted into English. This poem is from his Nobel Prize winning anthology Gitanjali. Now what is anthology? It is basically collections of poems which are compiled together. जो उन्होंने poems लिखी थी ना, उसको जब compile करते हैं उसको बोलते हैं anthology. तो वो उनमें से एक थी. Tagore lived during the times when India was ruled by the British. In the poem, besides political freedom from British, Tagore also appeals to God for social, education and economic freedom for the people of India. ठीक है, तो ये कब लिखी गई थी? When India was ruled by the British. तो उस टाइम पे this poem defines about political freedom and all such stuffs. But उसके अलावा it is an appeal to God. It is an prayer to God. What? For social, educational and economic freedom for the people. कि उनको कैसे चाहिए रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर को? People, they should be educated and we should have economic freedom. So this becomes our message. ये जो लास्ट पॉइंट है ना, द टागर ऑल्सो अपील्स टू गॉड फॉर सोशल, एजुकेशनल एंड इकोनॉमिक फ्रीडम फॉर द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया. दिस बिकम्स आवर मैसेज. तो ये 3 पॉइंट आप एज एन इंट्रोडक्शन लिख सकते हो. नाउ लेट अस स्टार्ट विद द एक्चुअल पोएम. Where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection, where the clear streams of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert of dead habit, where the mind is led towards by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into the haven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. ठीक है, so let us see the first line. Where the mind is without fear. Now the title of the poem, where the mind is without fear. तो यहाँ पे क्या बताना चाह रहे रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर? That everyone should be fearless, that they should not be scared or they should not be under someone, but they should be free, should not be scared, वैसा. So where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. So what does the poet say? That here poet dreams of a country where everyone is fearless. That mind is without fear is everyone is fearless, where everyone can live their life with a pride. The head is held high मतलब with a pride, with a dignity. ठीक है, this was the first line. When knowledge is free. Now, in what sense is he saying that knowledge is free? That everyone should have freedom of everything, where everyone is literate, where everyone has right to gain knowledge, and there are no discrimination. That everything, the knowledge should be free. Everyone should be able to accept or to gain whatever they want. वैसे, so everyone should have every right. Where the world is not broken into where the world is not broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. यहाँ पे वो क्या बताना चाह रहा है? Fragments is pieces where there should be no discrimination, where the world has not been broken up into fragments. Fragments मतलब pieces, कि यहाँ वहाँ there should be no discrimination, कि भाई there is something of caste, creed वैसा, तो nothing should be discriminated. Everyone should be united. No particular group, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि कोई एक particular group of people है or any kind of differences among the people. No, there should be no any differences among the people, or there should not be any particular group of people वैसा. By narrow domestic walls. Now narrow domestic walls over here means that people with narrow thinking. The world should not be broken into people with narrow thinking, with narrow thoughts, like thoughts on the basis of caste, religion, color, वैसा कुछ नहीं चाहिए. What is Rabindranath Tagore over here asking for? They don't want people who, मतलब the one who have narrow-minded thoughts वैसे, because such people they never want to grow for better. ऐसे country में उनको नहीं रहना है. What is Rabindranath Tagore asking for? Asking for people to grow. He wants to stay in a country where people should not be divided by all of these narrow-minded thoughts. They should always be united. तो ये यहाँ पे बताया गया है that the world has not been broken up into fragments. कि world pieces में नहीं गिरना चाहिए. On what pieces? Like people of discrimination or particular caste, particular group, वैसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Everyone should be united. Next, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection. One line I've missed. Where word comes out from the depth of truth, that he wants to live in a country where people are loyal, where truth is considered and it is given a point, वैसे, that where liars do not exist, कि जो झूठे लोग हैं they never exist, and where people say logical, where people say facts, वैसा, that he wants to stay in a country where everyone says truth and there are no liars. Where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection. Tireless is people who work continuously, and striving is impatiently, constantly. तो ही वॉन्ट्स के जो पीपल कंटिन्यूसली काम कर रहे हैं, जो कंटिन्यूसली मेहनत कर रहे हैं, दे शुड एक्चुअली अचीव थिंग इन अ परफेक्ट मैनर. दे शुड एम फॉर परफेक्शन, वैसा कि जो लोग अच्छे से मेहनत कर रहे हैं दे शुड ऑलवेज एम फॉर परफेक्शन. सच्चा वैसे कि जो लोग अच्छे से मेहनत कर रहे हैं दे शुड ऑलवेज एम फॉर परफेक्शन. नेक्स्ट, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way, that reason has not lost its way, matlab that everything should be reasonable. Every point you are telling or every point you have should have a valid reason, where people should preserve. क्या preserve करना चाहिए? देखो, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way. Clear stream of reason, कि जो wherever people have the people should preserve what they have, like their good habits, their values, their ethics, their principles. This all should be preserved and not converted into wrong habits, वैसा. समझा? That everything should be reasonable. Everyone saying something should be valid, like should have sense, and wherein people should preserve all their good qualities, their ethics, principle, and they should not give up. Next, into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. Now what does dreary over here means? That a place which is dark, gloomy, whereas it has no enthusiasm, वैसे. Into the dreary desert sand of dead habits. Dead habits, what does over here? It means that old habits and traditions, कि हमें वापस वैसे लैंड में नहीं जाना where it is all dark and gloomy, and where this old traditions and habits and ritual are still there. That imagine a world which is now also full of old prathas like sati and child marriage, and वैसे सब old rituals and rites नहीं होने चाहिए. This place is called as a dreary desert, that without any enthusiasm. And if ऐसा होता है then this place is not fit or not capable, this place is not fit to reside, कि यहाँ पे हम लोग फिर रह नहीं पाएंगे, this place is not fit to live. So he doesn't want to live in a place where all of these things are happening, all of these things exist. What all of these things? All these old traditions and all rituals exist. वैसे place पे हमें नहीं रहना. Where the mind is led to forwarded by thee. Where the mind is led forwarded by thee. अभी thee basically you होता है, but यहाँ पे thee capital है, so it means God. That such directions shown to us by God, the way which is shown to us by God, वैसे एरिया में हमको रहना है, वैसे प्लेस में हमको रहना है. Into ever widening thought and action. Into ever widening thought and action. People living in this country should have ever widening, broad thoughts. Ever widening is broad thoughts and action. That we don't want a country or a place where वो type के जो अपन ने old ritual and rites बोले वैसे exist हो. No, in fact we want people with broad thinking, not narrow-minded thinking, but broad thinking, broad perspection towards life. Into that haven of freedom, my father led my country awake. Now into the heaven of freedom, my father. Again father is in capital, which means God. कि लास्ट में अपन ने देखा ना इंट्रोडक्शन में, दैट लास्ट में जो मैंने बोला ये एक मैसेज बन जाएगा, दैट ही रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर इज गिविंग मैसेज टू गॉड. तो यही है दैट इनटू दैट हेवन ऑफ फ्रीडम माय फादर लेट माय कंट्री अवेक. माय फादर इज माय गॉड. दे लेट द people of this country has wide mindsets. Such a people would be called like living in such a place would be called as living in heaven. कि ऐसे place को हम heaven बोलेंगे. क्या बोलेंगे? जिसमें there are people with wide mindsets, जिसके thoughts wide हो, वहाँ पे where everyone is able to achieve freedom. And I want my people to see this heaven. And he wants, Rabindranath Tagore ji wants that I want my people to see this beautiful heaven. Now what does heaven over here means? वही कि a country where people are narrow-minded nahi but broad-minded. They have freedom of rights and freedom of everything. They have equal rights to live, to express their thoughts, where people are being respected. ऐसे place को रविंद्रनाथ ठाकुर जी क्या बोलते that this place is heaven and I want my people to live in this place, to understand the importance of this place and understand how genuine and wonderful this place is. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे इन शॉर्ट रविंद्रनाथ टैगोर जी क्या बोलना चाह रहे हैं? वही, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, that no one should be scared of anything. Everyone should have every freedom they want and every head should be held up with pride. When knowledge is free, that everyone should have all the rights they want, freedom of speaking, freedom of respect, सब कि उनको जो भी rights चाहिए वो सब rights उनको मिलने चाहिए. When knowledge is free, where people are actually people can do whatever they want, वैसा. The world has not been broken up into fragments. कि the country is not broken up into pieces. Like there should be no discrimination. Everyone should be united. There should be no any particular group of people, वैसा. By narrow domestic walls is people with narrow thinking. The country should not be broken up on the basis of caste, creed, color, gender. No, everyone should grow together, वैसा. Where world comes out from the depth of truth, that everyone should be loyal, truth should be considered, liars should not be existing. People should say something which is logical. Where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection. Where the people are hardworking, they should actually aim for perfection. Where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way. Where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way, मतलब everything should be reasonable, that every point should have a valid reason. Into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, that वो place जो जिसमें जरा भी एंथू ना हो. What is that place? The place which include all such old rituals and all the people with no freedom and all of these things. उनको उन्होंने बोला है dreary desert, and they don't want to live there. Where the mind is led forwarded by thee, that where God you lead us to the right direction, right road, into every widening thought and action, that everyone over here should be broad-minded and with broad thoughts. into the haven of freedom, that take us back to the haven, this place where everything would be safe, everyone would have all the rights, equal rights to live, love, express their thoughts, where people have broader mindsets, and he wants to make people realize this importance of such a beautiful place, which is genuine and wonderful. So this was all about where the mind is without fear. I hope it is understood. बहुत simple है and gives a wide message. So yeah, that was it for today's poem. एंड आपका होमवर्क अभी क्या रहेगा, इसके ये पोएम के ऊपर है, फिर ये पोएम ख़त्म होने के बाद देयर आर वार्म अप एक्सरसाइजेस, दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो यू गाइज नीड टू सॉल्व इट thoroughly, try to understand it. खाली डाइजेस्ट या रेफरेंस बुक में से कॉपी करके मत लिखना. ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड इट एंड देन आस्क डाउट्स, फिर हम लोग उसको सॉल्व करेंगे. ठीक है, आई एम नॉट सॉल्विंग इट विथ यू गाइज टुडे बिकॉज देन फिर आप कभी करोगे ही नहीं. आई नो, तो आई वॉन्ट यू ऑल टू ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड. डाउट्स आते हैं तो हम उसको ज़रूर सॉल्व करेंगे. ठीक है, एंड देन यू कैन आस्क मी इफ़ यू हैव एनी डाउट्स, और इफ देयर इज सर्टेन पॉइंट विच यू डिडंट अंडरस्टूड, यू कैन आस्क मी. ठीक है, सो या दैट वाज इट फॉर टुडेज लेक्चर. We'll meet you in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye. Take care. Bye.